Hey, what's up, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, or more is importantly known, Toasty Bros. So, this is once again the 1978 Datsun 280Z. I'm actually just getting ready to put in the engine now. I actually had to stop the other day, but I was gonna do a quick little update. So, we have two brand new engine mounts right here and here. These have very small threads in them. They're just little M8 by 125 bolts from the factory, and they're not very strong. So one of mine actually had a broken bolt in it, and the other one was actually missing a bolt. So basically, I had two bolts in total holding in this engine, besides the transmission mount with the bell housing. But once that stuff was off, the engine was straight, whoop, just leaned back. So we got two brand new mounts. There's just one bolt, or sorry, one threaded stud on each side of these with a nut on each side holding them. So that's it. There's sort of just one nut here, one nut there, and that's where they're held in. Sorry about the fun vibration there. But here we also have a new steering rack. I wanted to kind of point this out, as in, if you feel like you're ever going to need to replace this, go ahead and do it while your engine's out. This made things a million times easier. Getting the steering linkage off really sucks. You need to get something in there to pry incredibly hard. I ended up using a 3 foot long pry bar and it came out. You can also try heating it up, but it of course will probably ruin your current steering rack. This is a reman one from a Z-Car Depot. I was actually able to get the steering rack with the bellows already on it, greased up and everything, and it came with, and I'll see if I can get this on video, it came with two new tie rod ends as well, which are actually Moog. They end up being Moog tie rod ends. So it's a pretty nice kit. It ends up being $330, which is expensive, but my steering's nice and tight now. It turns the wheels really well, and it's pretty easy to turn too. So that's definitely good, because once you have the engine in this car, it'll come to about here, and your oil pan just barely clears this. So I couldn't even imagine doing this with the engine in. I'm not sure if you can. You might have to raise the engine up a little bit, because this is literally, the mounts are here and your oil pan sits right over this. So yeah, it would not be fun. So I went ahead and did that. Went ahead and got the new engine mounts on. I have a new tranny mount. As stated before, here's actually one of the old engine mounts with the broken bolts on it. Here's the back of one. Like I said, this is an OEM mount. You can see how it's all nasty on the sides here. So it's a good thing we went ahead and replaced those, especially since we're putting a turbo engine in that's going to be all torquey. We need good engine mounts. So these were just some cheapo eBay ones. So when I say good, I probably shouldn't be saying that. We'll see. I just needed something better than the factory ones that were missing bolts. But yeah, getting ready to drop this engine. As stated before, we just have a basic Harbor Freight cherry picker here, which is a up to 2 tons, but I've never done anything really that heavy, so I always go to the very end, especially because I have a 4-post rack, and when you actually have these legs here down, it does not like to clear it very well. So I have the car in the very edge of the rack just so I can get the engine in. But yeah, I mean, everything should be really straightforward. I should be able to drop this engine in. Your stock exhaust mount will not work with the turbo manifold, which I actually have the downpipe right over here. I'll show you that real quick. Walk over here, walk over here. So I actually just sprayed this with some header enamel. It's just like a matte black. I do need to actually treat it. I need to, heat treat it and everything so the stuff actually stays on, but it's a really nice coat. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off. But as you can see, this uses a more standard 3-bolt flange. And I worked at an exhaust shop for 5 years, so I am fairly familiar with exhaust, and I'll probably honestly have them do the exhaust for me. I still have the stock 2 sensor up here. We went ahead and cut off the EGR, and I just welded this up. It's kind of nasty, but shouldn't leak or anything, so that'll be good for that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I have lots and lots of boxes. I have a wiring harness. Ended up being the wrong one for the car. I actually got the one of the people on the Rawson forums helped me out, and this is a L28 ECU, and this is also an L28 harness, or at least just it might not be an L28, but it's an L28 E for the 280ZXs, but not the turbo model. It's definitely not a turbo ECU because it matches the ECU that's in my car exactly. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that, but as stated before, I'm going to be going with the Mega Squirt module that'll come with the plug-and-play harness. So my plan is to go ahead and get the engine in now, because it is November as of recording this video, and it's going to get very cold here soon in Kentucky. Or at least cold for me. I'm used to warm weather, so I'm going to go ahead and get the engine in while we still have just a little bit of, not sub 32 degree weather. And once we get the engine in, we'll just let it sit for about 4 weeks while we wait for the harness to get made and everything. And I should be able to still pretty easily run all the wires and everything. They're all going to be ran right, well, you can kind of follow this harness here, but it goes right up through here and then down under the brake booster as far as I'm aware. and straight to the ECU. So you kind of have some options with how you can run this new stuff. I'll probably remove the stock ECU and basically put the Megasport module there. And there's some other various things I'll have to figure out, but as far as I know, it's supposed to be pretty straightforward. Here's the spot for the charcoal canister that I may or may not keep. I'm thinking I will for now, but I'm not sure. I also got rid of had a 240Z bumper on the front of this 280Z, and recently I got rid of it, and I need to do some rust repairs or get those little patch panels. But I have the little air dam in the front that has the actual brake ducts and everything, so I've got a nice little setup on this car. It does have a lot of rust, as said before, but I'm going to be getting that fixed once I sell my white truck. That's the other car that I have, is a 1977 Datsun 620 pickup truck that has a really cool engine swap in it. Hopefully I'll get some video of that before I end up selling it, but that's actually in Hemmings Motors magazine right now. I just got the issue today, so hopefully that sells. I'm asking $8,000 for it, but we will see. So I hope you guys enjoyed another little update video. I will probably post another update as I'm putting the engine in, or right as soon as I get it in. But like I said, it's a really straightforward install. Literally, with how I have everything laid out right now, I should be able to take this turbo engine and literally just set it directly on these mounts and screw them in, and that's it. That's basically the main part of the swap there. I mean, obviously there's a lot of hoses, there's these fuel lines that will need to be reconnected, maybe rerouted, but other than that, it's a pretty straightforward thing. And really sorry about that light, just straight blinding. But yeah, none of that stuff should be too complicated. I am going to end up having to get rid of this stuff, probably like the ignition module. I'm not sorry, not the ignition module, the ignition coil. I'm not sure if that needs to be changed out. I won't be able to use this anymore, as far as I know, this little Pertronix flamethrower, which was going to my old electronic distributor, because this new distributor is completely different. So we'll just have to see on that. I'm really sorry about the vibrations going off here, but we hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like I said, I'll post some more stuff and keep you guys updated.